So welcome, a warm welcome from my side to the, let's say, first of its kind event organized by part of the members of this community, which is the first of machinery workshop. And then, of course, the workshop centered on SU2. So you might wonder what comes next. You might expect, I don't know, a slide where I show the agenda, but I will make you more even happier by showing, answering this first question, why we have organized this workshop. Well, there are a number of reasons, but above all, as a team of people working in the field of machinery with SU2, we have been seeing a growing interest actually in this type of capabilities worldwide. And I want to make you a couple of examples, of recent examples, of people asking information about turbomachinery capabilities in SU2. Here you see an email that I received, part of the email, of course, that I received 1 month ago from a person, a research scientist of a research institute of Hannover University of Technology, of a guy asking, okay, I want to use SU2 for compressor type of simulation. Where can I find a test case to get started? That was the question, the main question. And the more recent example is another email, but this time by people of MIT, telling that, wondering about, how to use SU2 for tough turbomachinery simulations, because they have an interest in creating databases of, simulation results and building up machine learning models, and something that we have seen also in the past couple of days. So these two basically simple examples, and they are not the only one. There's also an even more recent that UTOPI got. Witness that there is certainly a larger and larger interest, but there is poor, let's say, communication, poor documentation, poor material available for people to get started. And that was our main incentive, to arrange this first of its kind event. So via this workshop, we would like to introduce people to the world of turbomachinery with SU2. Not only users, but also developers. And especially for them, we have organized a small coding session in the afternoon to guide them through the first steps of coding turbomachinery features. And these are the two overarching objectives, but there are, of course, others. And what are these others? Well, released finally, after a long time, turbomachinery test cases and tutorials to the community via the website. This is a long-standing, at least personal wish, that for one reason or another, we have been unable to do so far. And via the organization of this workshop, we also force ourselves to prepare the material that is now ready to be released openly to the community. And finally, well, via this workshop, so via people here and people online, I don't know how many are they, you can tell me, we aim to further engage the community in developing and in using the SU2, also in testing it, and having feedback regarding, for instance, issues or wishes and major development areas that then should be posted on the web, as we have seen yesterday. So that's the reason why we arranged this workshop. Now, I said we, but who we are. I'm standing with a few people here, and actually this workshop started as an idea coming out from discussions within this pretty fresh working group that was established 1 year ago, the Turbomachinery Working Group, and that's our logo, thanks to this young man. So we are a group of people that typically gather on a regular basis and coming from different institutes. So there are people from Delft, people from UK, Imperial College and Liverpool University, people from China, Tsinghua University, maybe some of them are also attending online, and people from CNIRO, who also officially sponsor this event. And there you can find information and content by clicking. And of course, we'll provide everything, by the end of the workshop. What we'll do, just a bit more details about what we do in this workshop. So certainly we meet, discuss, act, and plan as a typical working group. But above all, we are, I would say, an enthusiastic small group as of now of people that wanted, I would like to engage with the community, meaning that we have set some goals for ourselves. And the first and foremost is the creation of a database of test cases. And I'm happy to tell you that we have been doing this for the last year. And these are the 6 test cases that we have built that are not yet released openly, but a couple of them will be used in this workshop. So these are test cases about several type of turbo machinery simulations, very tough one, so compressor flows, say flows in compressor rows or compressor stage that both can run with a steady and the unsteady solver of SU2. Unfortunately, not everything with a developed yet. Then there is a radial compressor test case, so a very peculiar one, a radial turbine test case, and an axial turbine test case. So, and as I said, as an add-on, so on top of the workshop, let's say in the next days, we will create a couple of turbo tutorials. So then information will be then transferred to the web and then to the community. We are. So you see faces, but I prefer to call them here on stage so you can see them lightly. So apart from me, Pedro kindly agreed to give a kind of opening regarding code overview that might be beneficial for the people here and online. Then you see Dr. Alessandro Cappiello from Delft, Joshua Kelly from Liverpool, and Dr. Ashwin Mahayan, if I pronounced that your surname correctly, Majan, sorry, from CNIRO. These are the faces that you'll see today. And now finally, the agenda comes. So we will start with Pedro giving us an overview of SU2. And then that will be my turn to introduce you to the turbo features that are available in the V8, so in the new release of SU2. So what you can find and also what you cannot find. After the break, Alessandro will entertain you with the first part, the tutorial session, and then after the second break, so longer one, lunch break, Ashwin will entertain you on the second part, and finally the coding session with Josh. So it's a rich program, meaning that we require your engagement. So as of now, I was explaining you what this workshop is about and who we are, but that's the final question that I'd like to answer. What do we need from you? Certainly not you as a silent people, like in the previous 2 days. That's something that certainly, it won't work. It won't work for us especially. And it won't work for you if you're interested to learn something out of this workshop. So stay tuned and engage, meaning that you don't, you can leave Facebook and all the social media out of the workshop, and you can, take them again at the end of the day. Interact and cooperate with your peers. So we'll assign you some tasks, meaning that if you do them with your peer, it will activate you more, and you can also get some help. We would like to have feedback from you, and in a short while I'll tell you why, especially why. That's very important, because that's the first time that we arrange something like that. But above all, if you want to learn, you have to actively do, not just being here as a listener, but being here as a doer. So, are you ready? Yes. No. Yeah. Good. Let me show you a final teaser, and that's especially why we need feedback out of this workshop. That's our long-standing wish. And I'm happy to announce that it has not been a real democratic process. This is not coming out from a real democratic process, and I'm the responsible of that. You can blame on me if you want. But I'm happy to announce that most likely 19% of probabilities will organize a summer school on turbomachinery flows next year in summer in Delft that will encompass a number of core topics, so simulation of steady flows in axial and radial turbomachines, simulation of unsteady flows, and also something on shape optimization for turbo machinery application. And with that, let's get started, and I leave the floor to Pedro.